Do you believe that a listing presentation varies from one real estate agent to another? In this video, I will give you my personal opinion and also kind of show you a very unique value proposition of how to sound different on the marketing of you taking a new listing. My name is Olivier Mavelec. I am the co-founder and president of the Global Marketing Agent Real Estate Certification. The company was founded in 2006. We have trained thousands of agents all over the world, and also very exciting timing as we have just launched GMA 2.0. We have added some incredible technology to facilitate the process and how to connect and collaborate, share listings with other agents and members of the networks, which is truly incredible. Also, social media tools that is really going to help you create more leads, not just locally, but also globally. Before we get into the video, I would love for you to subscribe to our channel, like the video at the end if you like it, of course, and also hit the notification bell as I produce content on a weekly basis, and would love for you to continue watching these videos. So listing presentation to me personally, and I've been with different brokerages over the years, been in real estate for over 20 years. They all sound the same, and they really do the same from one brokerage or one agent to the other. I know that some of you will disagree to that, and it's fine. We each have our opinions, but I believe that to me, it just sounds the same, and they do all the same. And I think that agents also depend too much on the .coms, meaning like their brokerage, brokerageXYZ.com, or, on their social media, which on social media it is well known that our attention span really is seconds. I mean, it's incredible. I read an article that it really is. So once you scroll down and she's got a new listing. I mean, it is just instant and it just goes away. So how do you really create a value proposition that is going to really wow your sellers and make you stand apart, especially into the world that we live in today, where the interest rates have gone up? And this is a worldwide problem, by the way. It's not just the US or Canada. It really is all over the world. And so how do you stand out from your competitors? I was reading something to where the Miami Association has over 60,000 realtors, and the Toronto up in Canada has as many. And you've got Los Angeles, you've got Dallas, Houston. And so, in the US, I believe, beginning of 2023, you had over 1.5 million real estate agents. And so how do you differentiate yourselves? How do you explain to the seller that, hey, this is why I need to be your agent. I need to have your property in my hands. And so I'm going to share with you a slide here that is all about the global marketing agent as to what I call a la carte service. And before I go into that, I want to preface and I want to make the announcement that we do not set fees. These are only and strictly based on examples. And so, again, the members can do whatever they want. The fees, it's really up to them. And so I'm going to share my screen with you here on a slide. And so as you can see, this slide it says market your listings to the world. So here, obviously, you can see the green dot, which is in Chicago, Illinois. You can see the local agent, and then you can see an arrow that goes to the left and to the right. One goes to Miami, Florida. The other one goes to Seattle, Washington. And so here, again, when I mentioned earlier the a la carte service, when I go into a listing presentation, and also to our members of the organization for the years that we've been teaching agents, is, again, we do not teach you on how to do a local listing presentation, because that is something that your brokerage, that your broker has taught you, and that's something that you do on a daily basis. And so this is going to be, the a la carte terminology to me is to say, okay, Mr. Seller, first of all, thank you for the opportunity to be here today. And I know that in this competitive market, you've probably interviewed other agents prior to me coming today. And once you've, kind of done the introduction and just kind of trying to build rapport, just explain to the seller that you are different because you are part of this global marketing agent program. and you've got the ability to do something very unique. And so before that is, let's just imagine that you would have, on your listing presentation package, kind of like three different columns. Column number one is everything and anything about the local listing presentation. And then you've got a column number two, which would be this slide here, to where it would be marketing the property in different states. And you can do this also with Canada. So throughout North America, to where you could, have agents in different states, different provinces. And then you have another column to where you could do also on the global listing presentation. And on the global, it works a little bit differently because, again, I don't want to get too much into this in this video, but as you know, or may not know, MLS and the way real estate is well organized. And again, it's different in all different countries. And in America and Canada, it's very similar to where, MLS is and on everything is very automated. In a lot of countries, there's no MLSs or the real estate licenses. It's a little bit different. And so there are a lot of different variables that, again, I'm not going to get into this video now, but on this one, so you could have actually this slide, presented to your seller as well. And so once you have done with your listing presentation on the local side, then you can say, Mr. Seller, as you know, we live and do business in a global economy. And before I go there, there's a lot of websites and there's a lot of data out there right now to where they provide what's called real estate migration patterns. I'm going to repeat that, real estate migration patterns. This is data to where you can type in pretty much any city in America and in Canada, and it will tell you exactly where the buyers are coming from and where the people from that city are going to. So it's from and then to. And it's incredible because once you have this data, really it's half the battle. And so if you know that, in Chicago, a lot of buyers come from New York or they come from Wisconsin, Minnesota, other states, then really having that data to where you can present it to your seller is really incredible. Because again, just think back as one of the first things that I've told you in this video. Do you think that every agent sounds the same? I told you I do. You may not agree, but now you see where I'm going. Once you have this data, this has never been done. You've never done this. Other agents has never done this. You can provide them with data to where it shows them again where the buyers are coming from. And you can explain to the seller and showing them this slide and to say, I am a global marketing agent member. I am part of this network. And what we do is that we co-market each other's properties. And so at the end of the day, Mr. Seller, what I'm going to do with the right agreements, because again, I want to really make a point on this. The only way that we're able to do this and that we've been able to do this, and I've mentioned this before, we have been around for a long time. We have been vetted by some of the largest global real estate brokerages in the world. We've been on one of the largest real estate brokerage university. And so we've been vetted from every angle and every side you can ever think of. And so these agreements are extremely valid to create these relationships. First, the seller, wherever the property is located, which is in this case would be Chicago, Illinois, will have to write language and sign it within the special provisions of that listing agreement of the state or as an addendum to that listing agreement to pretty much say that the seller gives the authorization to the listing agent to market his or her property outside of this jurisdiction through the help of co-marketing agents. And again, I'm not going to go into the fees. This video is strictly on the co-marketing system, but there is fee structures to where we explain to you on how you can get creative to get everyone involved. And so the seller will say, okay, now I've got this data. It looks great. So the seller may ask you, how many co-marketing agents can we have? The answer here is as many as you want. You are able now to create your own army of agents wherever in the world it makes sense to market, promote, advertise, and bring buyers to Chicago, Illinois. Why should you be the only agent doing all the work when now you can create your own army of agents? And I know some of you watching the video are probably thinking, well, when I put my property on a .com of my brokerage, it's taken care of. Or when it's on my MLS, it's taken care of. Well, if that's what you want to do and just do that and just wait by the phone to ring and just be like every other agent, then you're right. This video is not for you. If you want to be different, if you want to speak a different marketing language, the global marketing agent co-marketing value proposition is by far the strongest one you will see on the market to beat your competitors. At the end of the day, if the buyer comes locally, meaning that in Chicago, let's say that the agent in Chicago does an open house or gets a call from another agent in Chicago, no harm, no foul. The commission fee structure will stay as what it was negotiated locally. But now, if another real estate agent, co-marketing agent, I should say, from all of the arrows that you see here, has a potential buyer for that property in Chicago, this is where we again teach you different commission, or I should say fee structures, for you to entice everyone involved. Because at the end of the day, if that agent in Seattle has two options. Number one, they will bring you a buyer directly, which those odds are far more difficult than this one. The better odds is that for that agent in Seattle is going to market your listing in Chicago on their social media platforms, on their websites, everywhere. And so what's going to happen most of the time is another agent that is in the sphere of influence or the network, I should say, of that agent in Seattle, Washington, that will call and say, hey, I saw the listing you have in Chicago and I may have a buyer. This could be an investor. This could be whatever it may be. So when that happens, what will happen with the technology is that there will be a notification that goes out to all of the other co-marketing agents wherever in the world to notify them. Hey, everyone, this is what happened. We found a buyer through one of these co-marketing agents in Seattle, Washington. Please take everything off of your website, your social media platforms, because the property is under option and closing is coming soon. And so this is why the technology that we've created now with GMA 2.0 is really revolutionized the way that agents are able to collaborate and communicate through the global marketing agent value proposition. So this video, again, was strictly about teaching you and showing you that there are other ways to bring buyers to your property. There are other ways for you to sound different than your competitors. And for you, at the end of the day, if you go out to every single listing presentation and you do this on a yearly basis, I will guarantee you this. This is a guarantee that you will have more listings at the end of the year by doing this. It doesn't matter if this is a $100,000 listing or a $20 million listing. Obviously, the higher it goes in price, the better this concept works. Because why? These 5, 10, 15, $20 million listings, most of the time do stay on the market longer than others. And so what happens in that time? Price reduction after price reduction, frustration after frustration. The seller starts calling you every 5 minutes. Hey, what are you doing? What's going on? Why do we not have any showings? You know the feeling. You've been there. I've been there. We've all been there. And so this is a way for you to, again, create an a la carte service like no other, for you to always have an answer to where if the seller says to you, hey, Olivier, we're not getting the traffic or we're not getting the amount of leads that we were hoping, then you can say, Mr. Seller, no problem. We're going to go to these markets next. We'll do the East Side, or we'll do the West Side, or we'll do Europe, or we'll do South America. We'll do wherever. Because at the end of the day, this network allows you to be part of a group of agents who have been trained, who understand the agreements, understand collaboration, understand co-marketing, and also understand that you are giving them an opportunity wherever they are in their market to have a listing now in Chicago, Illinois, meaning that they're going to go to their sphere of influence in Paris, France, or in Dallas, Texas, and say, hey, look at me. I've got a new listing in Chicago, Illinois. This is what the GMA 2.0, this is what Global Marketing Agent does for you. And so I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please like the video if you liked it, subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell for other videos. And again, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in another video. Thank you.